How exciting was it to do this? Because your character's, he has a little bit about him, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what I was getting into. I mean, obviously you get given the script and things, but with this film especially, the script was evolving as we were shooting the film quite a lot, and yeah, my character's pretty intriguing, and I was learning stuff about him as we were going along. I was like, oh, okay, oh, I see. Oh, this will be really interesting how this kind of works out. So, yeah, he was an interesting character to play, and it'd be fascinating to see how he plays out with audiences who kind of, you don't know quite where you are with this guy, you know. Yeah, I enjoyed it very much.
And also, I mean, it's a big fantasy world and a big Disney movie, but how important is it for these kind of movies to have little bits of reality in them and talk about subjects that we're talking about right now?
You know, Maleficent is fantasy in its purest form. It's got beautiful vistas, visually stunning film, brilliant characters as well, that kind of true fairy tale kind of movie. But yeah, nonetheless, of course, as in most fairy tales, you look back in history, they're always reflecting either the times that they were written in, or they still reflect current times, even though they were written maybe hundreds of years ago. So I think that's what kind of writing is all about, isn't it? It's authors reflecting what's going on now in their pieces, you know.
Just finally, as a child of the 80s and a huge fan of Willow, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about that. There's a lot of, Top Gun, Coming to America, all these 80s movies kind of coming back and having a renaissance, and there's word of maybe a TV show of Willow or a sequel. I mean, do you think we're going to ever get to see it? Do you think Ron's got something cooking, maybe?
You know, there's some development going on, but it's just really throwing some ideas around at the moment, as Ron has already spoken about. But yeah, certainly for me to revisit a character that you played, I can't even remember how many years ago now, 30 odd years ago, would be quite fascinating, because not only have I matured as a person and as an actor, but the character will have done as well. So for me, that's really intriguing. And you know, you can see by the something like Maleficent at the moment, you know, it's a huge fantasy movie. There is a certain appetite for this kind of thing, for that escapism, and Willow certainly gave you that all those years ago in the 80s, and would give you that in a TV series.
Yeah, and also I guess for something like Willow, the fact that it's with Blu-ray and DVD, there's all new generations finding it as well. I mean, that must fill you with joy as well, the fact that people even now are rediscovering it.
You know, I meet fans of Willow every day. Some of them are grandparents, some of them are parents, but some of them are kids who have been introduced to this movie and love it like it was their own movie that they've just seen, you know, and is a current film. So, you know, DVD, Blu-ray and digital downloading is really enabling people to share films that they grew up with, and that's wonderful, because it keeps them alive. You know, that film is over 30 years old, and it still stands up, which is a real pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey